Hey guys, welcome back to Monty Plays. Today we are going to be making Russia take over the world. So let's go. Also, one of my friends is here, so I think he's lagging out. Be red! Yeah, he just lagged out. Be red. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Russia declares war on China because they're stupid and they want land. So, and they win the war and get this much land off China. And now they are in direct contact with North Korea. Somebody. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description. He's practically just like a cringe boy. Makes videos semi-often, maybe like once a week, twice a week. I just made them. See it. Look at it. If you see this, you're a legend. So, since North Korea used to be communist, Russia mistaken it for still being, and they took over it because they took over North Korea because communism is something that Russia doesn't want to be known for anymore. I want to cover that in because I'm getting mad. Okay, and they just go, you know, why not have South Korea too? Okay, then lots of Russian people moved to this island, so it was claimed Russian because it had more Russian people than Japanese people by 80,000 people, which is quite a big gap. Russia then moves their eyes to the east, no, west, and takes over the tippy top of Norway for their mines. And now that they own those mines, they were actually quite a lot richer. And they had the confidence to invade Mongolia. And, what's Mongolia's colour? Oh my god, bro. What's wrong? No, not pastel green. No, that's what I have to do. Try me game. And, Mongolia actually gains quite a lot of land considering, and this was a shock to the world, and Mongolia is now generally feared amongst lots of countries. And Russia believed that part of it was in Kazakhstan, so they got part of Kazakhstan, and now Kazakhstan's mad at them. Russia proceeds to get angry and take that bit with no hesitation whatsoever because they got rid of so many Mongolian troops, and this devastated the Mongolian people living over there. How dare you! So yeah, they did that. So they did that. Mongolian people were so mad that try me. They launched a full-scale invasion and grabbed this bit of China and now grabbed that back. Russia, with its anger, gained literally all of the Russian troops, and said, you know what? If we eliminate Mongolia, Mongolia can't re-attack us. So, yeah, Mongolia kind of no longer exists, which was a huge shock for the entire world. And the Russians were now 1/3 of the size that they used to be. Now, at this power, they thought that, they were the second strongest army. The USA was actually two, 3 times weaker than Russia at the moment, and and as soon as that research was confirmed, the world went into shock. They feared Russia so much, and Russia was like, aha, yeah, I think we'll just encircle this bit of Kazakhstan and leave it to annoy the Kazakhstani people. Kazakhstan comes out and says, hey, that's not cool. Regains that land, and Russia said, you know what, gone. Kazakhstan now has much less the size, and Russia says, no, we'll just take this little edge, and you're no longer going to be allies with China in 1 second, boom. And since they weren't in contact with China anymore, China believed that they actually weren't allies anymore, not like they ever were. But so Russia was like, you know what? You're completely blocked off from China. Took East Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, with its new small size, was absolutely weak. Russia said, you know, I think we might actually take the complete top of Norway on their minds and take Bodo. I don't even know, I just had to say that. Okay. Ukraine says what colour would Ukraine be? Scarlet? Aha, see, I'm smart. And they actually go towards Russia. Russia being feared so much now. Russia was what? I don't know. I'm doing a roleplay on YouTube. That as soon as I leave this, erases. I have to do this. It's now getting into lots of wars, and they won almost every single. So they took it. They took the area they took, and gained a lot more land than they used to have without realizing. Regaining Volgograd, which was a huge success. And then this part of Ukraine said, just take us, we want to be part of Soviet Russia. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Russia is renaming itself Soviet Russia. Taking Finland was absolutely easy, considering this. Finland was completely surrounded by the USA. So they took the north and said, well, haha, this is now Finland. And they did that just to tease him, which they got really mad about. So they then proceed to, just that was literally Finland for about 8 years, and in that time, Russia has changed a lot. Without realizing that it was really only taking Europe at this point, they said, you know what, we'll take Finland back, and they did the exact same that they did to Mongolia. If they don't exist, they can't do anything about it. Finland is gone. They decide, hey, this little bit of China, just took it. They didn't even go to war. China just said, you know what, just take it. We're not going to war with you. And this happened in that time. Yeah, so Sweden said, hey, we want to be part of Russia. There's no way we can do anything about it. We want to be part of Russia. We just want to be safe. We are part of Russia. And lots of countries happen to be doing this now. So, actually don't know what this is that. I swear this was, Poland. I don't know. You know, I'm just gonna call it Urinal. So Urinal also did it. So, if anybody, is from there and they are watching this video. So, Russia, takes that. And Ukraine, with their massive success, 64% of the votes said give up to Russia. And guess who else did it? Kazakhstan. Which was a major success for Russia. And Russia now looked like this. Japan, considering not even being touched by anything, said, we want to be part of you, but we are still going to be called Japan. So the Russians said, no, you are not still going to be called Japan. And didn't accept it, which actually was a massive surprise to the Russians. And then they declared war and then took it just to say no. China now being completely scared. Russia said, you're scared? And China said, yeah. And they did this. That's mine now. They didn't even go to war. They just said, that's mine now. And they said, oh, okay, you can have anything in this encircled area. And Russia, with that being a mistake, they said, oh, anything. So they proceeded to take this much of India. So now, with them being the first most populated country, they had a lot of power and respect. They focused their eyes south and said, you know what, Australia, we won't really do much about you, but I think we will take this. Because here is actually useful, the rest of you is completely pointless apart from here. And here. And here. So that was also part of Russia, which was the first part of Russia that was just floating quite far away. And then Russia said, you know, if we just don't mind us. And then New Zealand got involved, because obviously they are in the Anzacs. So New Zealand got involved. Most New Zealanders were very unhappy about it. And so they declared war on Russia. The president of New Zealand instantly said don't, but the soldiers were already there. What a surprise. So Russia was this big, and with the third strongest army very close to them, they were hella scared. So they said, you know, no, just stop. Accidentally taking Ireland with them. Iceland, mostly undefended, they just said, you know, Iceland's us now. So they actually just walked troops through here. They didn't fly, but they walked through here. They breached through Luxembourg. And then you know they just said, you know, after our defeat of actually losing to us, I think we'll take it. They said that a few years later, taking Monaco without any notice. And so now French was separated, and Russia said, you know, you probably don't care, do you? And they said, we do care, but they took it anyway. With the troops actually running through there, that was their tactic. And with the rest of the world fearing the Russians so much that they just said, just be it. And then Germany in two pieces, they were mad, like mad. And Russia just said, no, you're in one piece, what are you talking about? And then Russia did this, which was quite uncalled for. Just say bye-bye to Turkey, and then also just completely destroyed that country, whatever it is. Sorry for people that live there. I don't know what it is. Nice. I'll join Intellector. So at this time, they were like, Spain used to have a very strong army. You know, I think we'll just took Portugal and said, you know, I think we might go here. Took here, said, you know what, Africa is mostly undefended. Guess what happens? Russia, despite its massive size, was obviously still considered a country. Watch this. Until now, it was in every single continent apart from two, North America and South America. But they said, we've given up, even though you're all over the shot, you are a continent named Muscovy. Which, if you didn't know, fun fact, or teaser, Muscovy was the first ever name for Russia. And then they said, you know what, France? Wait, why did I say France? Spain. Since I said France, you know, just... have high hopes. Oh, he left. Okay, he obviously doesn't have high hopes. China now with its distinguishing circly size. Well, I'm just gonna say this. In the meantime, Russia did this. Just absolutely eliminated the Philippine Islands. But in that, that's just like what happened in this time. China, with now the small size that they are at now. Oops. You know, Russia was getting greedy. This is like the olden days where everybody was fighting for land. Nobody really, I mean, obviously they are still, but like, nobody's going for as nearly as much as they used to be. Russia has just insulted the Chinese so much and said, you look like China, but 5 times smaller. China was like, that's it. They invaded troops all the way through here and claimed that this was all theirs and ripped Russia in two, which angered the Russians so much. And guess what they did? They did what they did to Finland and Mongolia and Kazakhstan. China doesn't exist. They can't launch an invasion into us and take land from us. So they took it, accidentally taking lots of other countries with it too. Also taking Taiwan, was it? I don't know. I think it is. Thinking that it was part of China because it used to be. Russia was now enormous, taking the rest of India for population. Okay. Now with its immense size, Russia mistaking that these used to be part of Norway, which they did. Just took it, saying, you know, oh, Norway still exists. Greenland with absolutely no defense, just despite its actually conveniently small size, it's not nearly this big. looks about the same size as Africa. It's about 1/14 of the size of Africa. Yeah, but about there, it has no defense, and with it being so close to Canada, America got ready for war, but Russia was already 17 times stronger than the USA, even though they're in second place. But they got ready for war. They were brave. Oh, I had a friend that was in one of those groups. He unfriended me. Russia, knowing what was happened, took part of Canada. The USA went straight in. Russia said, "Okay, boys, come on, vodka, got it, drink all your vodka," and that made them go supersonic, and before any planes could get to this area of Canada, Canada looked like this now. Can't remember, I'll check later. And then taking this with a massive war. Russians conveniently leaving every single continent so far, apart from South America. BC before Cube was needed. That's true. Yeah. Russia with these massive wars. Scientists rethought their words and said USA is actually only half as strong, not 17 times less strong. Which was a major surprise to the Russians. But you know what Russia did? What, this is annoying me. You know what the Russians did? They did this. The classic split the country in two. Get them mad and take more land as it makes them weaker. And then just encircle them, taking a bit of Alaska with ease. Their move has worked. The Canadians give up, mostly being undefended in these high areas up here. They were easy to take it and militarize them, just like they did with all the others. That part of Canada gave up, and Russia mistaken, not the USA, they just let them mistaken for the entire of Canada giving up. This part of Canada was absolutely furious. Just said no. Oh wait, that both of you guys just messaged me on Discord. They take it. Now with Canada being in possession of Russia, they breeze through Maine and take Florida and Mexico. No, not Mexico, New Mexico. Yeah, I do not care. I do not know much about the USA. Taking the outskirts and keep on thinking that the outskirts was the outskirts. So the military leader then apologized and they asked, "Can you give us back?" Surprise, surprise, they said no. The USA still existed, obviously, and why is Alaska a different color? What? Okay, and since the British, well, was the British said, "Hey, you know what? We'll give you the Falklands, and also you can have part of Argentina, even though we don't own it. You know, we'll help you own it." Also, Chile no longer exists. It's gone. They actually said, you know, we'll take Argentina, leaving that bit of Argentina, believing it didn't exist. And then they got told it existed, so. Accidentally invading into Brazil, taking whatever this country is. No offense if you are studying there or something, sorry. Taking, I have no idea. I'm sorry, I don't know. You know, I'm just generally not a good South American geologist. I'm not a good geologist in general. I'm not a good South American geologist. They easily encircle Brazil, taking some other countries that border it with absolute ease. And also making some non-existent, and by some I mean all, because I just didn't realize that I didn't know. They did the classic, split it into two. Oh no, what was that? Oh, sorry, not split it into quarters. Oh no, what was that? Split it into what, eighths? Oh, what was that? Not split it. And Brazil was like, you know, Brazil was like, you know what, just do it. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm skipping most forwards because like this video will be 10 hours then. Like, no joke, 10 hours. So now there was only Oceania, Africa, a bit of Asia, bit of Europe, and a small bit of North Africa and South Africa. What? America being in their possession. So they easily breeze through these mostly poor countries. And then Mexico. Here comes the challenge. Lots of American troops moved here for hope that they wouldn't get taken near the end. But trust me, they were taken very easily. And easily breezed through here. Taking the, they said, you know, we want the Burj Khalifa. Oh, Spain! We want the Burj Khalifa. So they went and said, Burj Khalifa is ours. And you said, you know what? I think Saudi Arabia should be ours. And I said, oh, Yemen should be ours. Oh, Oman should be ours. Oh, Iraq should be ours. Oh, Iran should be ours. So they did that. So after that, they said, you know, we'll just take these poor little countries. And, you know, we want the Great Pyramid of Giza. They actually took over the rest of Germany in that time. The time that we were away from Europe, this is what they had done to Europe in the meantime. That is what they had done to Europe. And they said, you are weak, you're fat, you're ugly, we're gonna take you. So they've taken it, and all that was left was actually none of Oceania anymore. Hold up, we'll just oh, China still exists in quite a lot of areas. Skip that. And guess what? Oceania is now part of the Russian Empire continent. Die. Honolulu. Honolulu. Die, Hawaii. P-O-R-T, Stanley. Russians took over Madagascar because they like the movie. With the amount of Africa taken, they were quite easily being able to actually encircle the entire of Africa, and considering that most of Africa was poor, so it wasn't that hard anyways, but considering that they owned quite a lot and they were South Africa, considering that they were quite rich actually, still was pretty easy to get through for the Russians. Boom. You see this? And then Russia said, no, we'll take the most powerful out first. And then we'll take part of the Democratic Republic of Congo out on accident. Hey, I thought I got that. So they take out all of this and do this just to embarrass this country just before they take it. They named it the Chile. They renamed it Chile. And then about 8 years later they said Russia. And in that 8 years they had been able to own all of this. So now Africa's almost gone. Last country to live out of the entire Russian Empire was, let's see, no, this country. It was, considering how rich Afghanistan was, they were actually quite scared to invade it because they have been making a military and they knew because of their spies. Obviously they had good spies. The last country to live was Afghanistan. And that is how the Russian Empire took over the world. You know what? The Russian Empire can even take... Yeah, the Russian Empire can even take over this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Bye.